Battlefield 4 is by far the best Battlefield experience you can have. I have been on a quest. I have searched far and wide to see what the community, what you guys, what the gamers feel like is the best Battlefield game. And you know what? I've stumbled upon the answer right now, and it is, without a shadow of a doubt, Battlefield 4. Battlefield games go back a long way, and everyone's got their favorite game, and well, in fact, not everyone likes Battlefield actually. It was basically a combined arms style design that was put into place a long time ago, and I think most people started with 1942 at least the veterans. 1942 was a groundbreaking game, and then of course we had the contemporary games, probably starting with Bad Company 2, Battlefield 3. These two games showed Battlefield to the rest of the world, not just the hardcore tactical shooting fans that had grown up on 1942, and they brought with it a lot of innovation and a lot of refinement to the classic Battlefield formula. And then came Battlefield 4, which was, I hate to say it, but it was Battlefield 3, but a little bit better. Yes, Battlefield 4 really didn't do anything new in terms of innovation, introducing new mechanics, but what it did, and what it should be credited with, is taking the Battlefield 3 template and making it straight up bigger and straight up better. Yes, I know the first year of Battlefield 4 was a complete fiesta. There was a lot of connectivity issues. The game was basically broken for 12 months. But in terms of today, it's a great game. They fixed pretty much everything. They fixed the connectivity issues, they fixed the ping, they fixed the crashing, they patched everything out, which is not to say that they shouldn't be called out for what they did upon launch, but they have fixed it, and looking back right now, Battlefield 4 is where it's at. If you want that classic and true Battlefield experience. And what I mean by that is, if you want the essence of squad-based tactical shooting in Battlefield. Battlefield 4 is by far the best game in the Battlefield franchise in terms of giving players options on the battlefield. Unlike Battlefield 3, you don't have to run assault to do successful things in this game. Every single class is viable, and vehicles are not out of control. If you see a tank on the battlefield, all you have to do is switch to engineer and you could take it out with a decent squad. It's not that difficult, unlike Battlefield 1 for instance, where it was a complete freaking nightmare to be infantry on a map of conquest. You would get run over and absolutely destroyed because vehicles had so many options, and they seemed to be, at some points, just immune from being killed. And that took a lot of the fun out of the game for veteran shooting fans who like to focus on run and gun play, because Battlefield has always been about choices, and when you take away the element of choice in a game where you pick your own class before you even get into the game, then there's going to be some problems. And I think a lot of people really didn't like that about Battlefield 1, myself included. Assault in Battlefield 4 is very fun to play. They are arguably the best class, but what I'm trying to say is every single class has its purpose on the battlefield, and when it comes to running into other classes in terms of, being an assault and running into an engineer, or being a tank and running into a squad of engineers, whoever's the best at what they're doing and whatever they're bringing to the table, that group of players is going to come ahead out on top, and that's really important. Of course, the system isn't perfect, if there was ever a problem with this system, it's that recon players the game is so fast paced and the time to kill is so low that you really don't need to be a sniper in this game, as well as the support class. The MGs in this game, the machine guns, they're not that great, and I think this has always been a problem in the Battlefield franchise, is the support class. It's just always been underpowered, especially because they give out ammo packs, which are so important. So I think DICE kind of believes under the radar that they need to be at least a little bit below par of the best class in the game, because they're so helpful to the rest of the team, the rest of the squad, because they're basically giving unlimited ammo, grenades, and all this stuff to make it easier for the team to get their objective. So of course, you might get the sensation that it's not the most powerful class because of this. But just because they're not on the same page, and this is going to be something that's going to be a problem for so many other games, because, well, balance is something that can never be achieved, they are still viable in what they bring to the table. So this is the best part about Battlefield 4 for me, is the fact that when I hit the battlefield, no matter what class I pick, I feel like I can bring something to the table and make it easier for the team to achieve a victory, and I think that's really important. But what's really important that sets this game apart from the rest of the Battlefield franchise is that the time to kill seems perfect. And this is a problem that I just struggled with for so long with Battlefield 1 because it was so perfect in Battlefield 4. BF4 is a modern shooter with modern weapons. Most of them are high-powered automatic weapons, so it makes sense thematically and through gameplay for the time to kill to be very low. And what this does on a meta level is it makes you responsible for being aware, for knowing the maps and knowing the limitations of your rifle and who you are facing in their rifle as well. Should I round this corner? Should I go down this alley? Do I need to wait for my squad mates before I turn this corner? These are questions that you absolutely had to ask yourself in Battlefield 4, because if you took the wrong corner with the wrong gun at the wrong time, you were dead. Because this game is lightning quick to kill, and if you weren't good with the guns and you didn't have good awareness and you did not know the levels, then you were at a disadvantage, which is exactly how it should be in a shooting game. And speaking of the gameplay, it is just so magically fun. I can't get over how fun it is to just be inside a Battlefield 4 map. You guys might be asking yourself, why the hell are you making a Battlefield 4 video, Tone Loc? Well, DICE gave the Final Stand DLC for free this last couple days, and that was a big problem for me, and this is one of the big downfalls for Battlefield 4, is that if you didn't have the expansion packs, you basically could not play all the cool maps, and it split up the community, and that was one of the main reasons why people just aborted Battlefield 4, because if you didn't have the premium pass, you were pretty much screwed. So now that I went back into the game, it just feels so good. I mean, look at this footage. It is absolutely breathtakingly beautiful and smooth and crisp, and it just sounds tremendous. Honestly, I think that DICE really nailed the visual component, the auditory component, and the feel of a modern military shooter with Battlefield 4 in a way that was not matched by Battlefield 3 nor Battlefield 1 a little bit later on in the next year. So going back to Battlefield 4, it honestly feels way better, and I kind of lament what happened with Battlefield 1 because, yeah, I was one of those players that popped in Battlefield 1, tried to love it. I tried my damnedest to love this game for so long. I played so many hours, but I just felt like something was missing with Battlefield 1. You know, there was too much grenade spam. It was too thematically inappropriate. It was too runny-gunny, arcadey, and really kind of mass audience feeling, at least for me. But, you know, anyway, back to Battlefield 4. This game was fantastic, and I think it was the best representation of combined arms warfare that we've had in the Battlefield franchise, at least for me, since Battlefield 1942. I can't speak for the ones beforehand, but since 1942, I'll go out on a limb and I will say Battlefield 4, definitely the best BF experience you could possibly have today. And if you haven't tried it yet, you should definitely give it a go. The best part about this game for me though, now that I think about it, is that I never grabbed grenades out of my pocket and started chucking them in Battlefield 4, because if you did that, you were pretty much dead. This is the #1 unsung hero for Battlefield 3 and 4 actually, is the fact that the level design was so good, and the weapon design was so fair, and the time to kill was so low, that you really had no choice but to focus on the gunplay. If you were not shooting your rifle, you were going to die. Yeah, of course you can throw a grenade behind a corner or something to get a tactical advantage, or you can shoot, you know, noob tubes in Operation Lockout or whatever it was called, but you weren't grabbing grenades from your belt like a ninja and just throwing them out like candy in the middle of the battlefield, which is exactly how I died, probably 1,000 times in Battlefield 1. So because of that, I felt like the gunplay was always at the forefront, and it should be in a, you know, a shooting game. Of course, there was other good things to Battlefield 4's multiplayer components, including, you know, how flag capturing worked. They brought back commander mode, and they did the communication stuff a little bit better, so talking to your friends or, you know, people on the battlefield in your squad was a little bit easier. But of course, the elephant in the room, the campaign, was absolutely atrocious, and there was way too many modes, which kind of took the player base and it split it in too many places, so there was a problem finding players inside modes for a little bit of time before they consolidated things. So it wasn't all roses and sunshine with Battlefield 4. There was definitely problems, including the connectivity, the lag, and all that stuff I already went over. It was not a perfect game. But with that said, I loved the big weapon pool. I loved the customization. I loved the gadgetry. I loved the maps. The game was beautiful. It sounded fantastic. And it's just a fun game to hop in and play. That is Battlefield 4 in a nutshell for me. And it's a game that I will continue to go back to for a long time, I think, because it's so gosh darn good. So just the sheer amount of content you get, the sheer amount of refinements to the formula, how good the presentation was, how good the gunplay felt, how fair the classes were. I mean, this is definitely the ultimate Battlefield experience. BF4 was definitely a gamer's Battlefield, and that's one of the reasons why I will absolutely love it. It catered to no one, but it tried to please everyone, and that's a great combination to strive for, especially in a long-standing franchise, especially one in the shooting game market. But just like every other game out there, it's got its problems, but I think deep down, to the core, to the heart, BF4 is the Battlefield game for me. So yeah, that's pretty much it for today, guys. A little bit of a Battlefield 4 trip down memory lane, a little bit of a rant, a little bit of a ramble for Battlefield 4, probably my favorite shooting game. I don't want to say of all time, but it's one of my favorite shooting games of all time. So what I want you guys to do now is let me know what your favorite shooting game is and your opinion on Battlefield 4 down below in the comment section, and I will definitely read your comments, and I will try to respond to as many as I can. So good people out there, I wish you a fantastic day, a fantastic evening, morning, wherever you are from, and I very much thank you for watching my video. If you did enjoy it, the thumbs up button is there for you to click it, and if you did not enjoy it and you want to see me make something different, then thumbs it down and tell me why you did not like this video. It is very valuable feedback for yours truly. Have a great day, guys, and we'll see you in our next video, probably going to be in a few days. Peace, love, and happiness until then, all you good people out there. We'll see you on the other side.